everyone. Welcome to the Haverhill Journal Live for Monday, May 17th, 2021. I'm Lindsay Paris, here with you tonight from the HC Media studio. Tonight, we'll meet Haverhill's new fire chief, Robert O'Brien, and talk about some of the changes that the fire department has seen recently and may be seeing in the future. Kathy Fitz of the Haverhill Garden Club will be with us to chat about their big annual plant sale. And then we're visiting Be Imagine Music and Shoetown Arts Center to see how they've adapted to keep their students learning through a global pandemic. But first, Mayor Jim Fiorentini is joining us for his latest update. Mayor Fiorentini, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Well, the big news today is that the state is lifting the mask mandate and ending the state of emergency. The mask mandate ends on May 29th, and the state of emergency ends in June, on June 10th. So the first thing we're going to do, we have our own set of rules. We were ahead of the state. We had stricter requirements at the beginning of the pandemic when they were needed to keep you safe. Now they're no longer needed. So I'll be calling a meeting of the Board of Health sometime in the next week or so to lift our own state of emergency so that our people can begin to get back to normal. We have around half of our people have now received the first dose of the vaccine. The vaccine is now open to those 12 and above. At the clinic on Primrose Street, run by the state. They're open every day from 10 to 2. They do take walk-ins, and they are taking kids 12 and up. Make sure you have a parent with them and you sign a permission slip. We want everyone in the city to get vaccinated. We're also going out to the schools. We'll be at the high school on the 21st and Whittier Voc Tech on the same day. And we'll be opening that up to all the kids. We want everyone in the city vaccinated, and we want a normal summer. And folks, we're heading in the right direction. We're getting there.
That's good to hear. Now, Mayor, with the state of emergency being lifted, is that going to affect the mask mandate as well? Will people be able to remove masks if they've been vaccinated?
Pretty much, yes. Starting on May 29th. You can go outside without a mask. You'll be able to go into restaurants without a mask. There are certain times when the mask is still mandated. I'll put it on the city website to be sure. It's anytime you're in public transportation, it's still mandated. It's still going to be mandated for kids in school. Sporting events, they're going to lift the mask mandate. I'm not really certain of the date on that. I'll have to post that. But in most cases, the mask mandate will be lifted. I, for one, will be looking forward to going back to the gym. It's impossible to work out with a mask, and they'll be lifting that. I can't wait. Also, all of the restrictions on all of the businesses will be lifted come June, and they'll be open to full capacity. And here in Haverhill, what we're doing is we really expanded outdoor dining. On Wednesday, we'll be putting the parklets back in, those temporary parks. We made them look a lot nicer this year. And we want the best outside dining in the state. So that's what we're doing.
Everybody get out and get those vaccines. Mayor Fiorentini, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks for having me on the show.
Stay up to date with the mayor by subscribing to his blog at jimfiorentini.wordpress.com or by reading his updates on the Haverhill News page on Facebook. In March, Robert O'Brien was selected for the role of Haverhill Fire Chief. O'Brien has been with the department since 1994 and previously served as Deputy Fire Chief for 11 years. Tonight, we have Chief O'Brien here in the studio to tell us more. Welcome, Chief O'Brien. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand, like I said, you've been with the fire department for 28 years almost now. Yeah. So just talk about that.
Well, it's been a quick 28 years, I'll say that. Being in one place for 28 years, you have a lot of opportunity to work in different capacities. I've actually worked in every rank coming through the fire department, served in pretty much every capacity. So it's been a good career. I've enjoyed it.
Now, after so many years in the department, I'm sure you've seen a lot and experienced a lot.
I have.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit, why did you decide to go for the role of fire chief?
Well, the honest answer is I got to give credit to my dad. My father was always the type to keep moving forward, and a department like the fire department, you have the opportunity to move forward. So throughout the ranks, you just keep moving forward, and you meet one level, and you just keep moving forward. So
Right. We were talking earlier about at the beginning of your career, you started out, low on the ranks, and you were living in the bunkhouse, and now you've worked your way up, and you're
That's it.
over at City Hall.
Now I'm living in an office. That's right.
So, recently the fire department has received some much needed modernizations and upgrades. So tell us a little bit about those and any that are planned or in the works.
So my predecessor, Bill Liberty, and the city council and the mayor all have worked to replace the roof, some much needed improvements at the Water Street station, as well as the windows. That's all done. The station's looking good down there. We're getting a lot of work done. We're working to address some of the issues myself right now. I'm looking to address some of the issues in the outside stations, modern improvements, improving the bathrooms, kitchens, that type of thing, the living environment, which, the firefighters spend a lot of time in, so we try to keep that current. So.
Right. How many firefighters do you have in each station approximately each night?
So at the outside stations, you're going to have 3 per house. Down Water Street, you're going to have, counting the deputy, you're going to have 10. You have 3 trucks out of Water Street, which 3 per truck, and that's what it is. You have a 19-man minimum every shift.
Okay. How many men are in the department total?
Right now, we have 96 firefighters.
Okay. Got it.
I
know
believe.
it's a challenging job, and I have friends in the fire department, and a lot of hours spent, 24-hour shifts, and
It is.
so on. Yeah.
Makes your day go fast.
So other than putting out fires, of course, the Haverhill Fire Department is also out in the community doing a lot of outreach type things. So are there any new initiatives in the fire department that you can share with us?
Well, given the past year with COVID, we've had to shut down a lot of the things we were doing. We're just restarting a lot of those programs right now, and specifically through the SAFE program, which we do a lot with the community, whether it be the elderly, the young kids in the school system. We're looking forward to getting back with that.
Yeah. I know my kids, came to the schools, you go to all the elementary schools in the city
Yeah,
and do training with them.
Yeah, we do the smokehouse. The kids like the smokehouse. Your personal experience, you can tell that given the ability to have the kids go through it in a controlled environment kind of takes the scariness out of it for them. So.
Definitely.
That.
Well,
Yep.
you guys are doing an amazing job,
Well,
fire
you.
department. We hope
Very
we'll be
proud
doing
of our
more.
guys.
We'll be doing more with you guys here on
Yeah, we
HC
look forward
Media
to it.
now, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Chief O'Brien. It's been a
Thank
pleasure to
for
meet you
having me.
tonight.
Same here. Same here.
Springtime means planting, seeding, and weeding for gardeners like myself, and the Haverhill Garden Club's annual plant sale is the place to get your flowers, vegetable, and herb seedlings, and even renew your garden tools for the season. Kathy Fitz of the Haverhill Garden Club is joining me here tonight with more details. Hi, Kathy. So glad you could come on and talk plants with us.
I'm always happy to talk plants, but I especially love talking about the plant sale, which we weren't able to have last year because of COVID. So we're very excited that we'll be back at Bradford Common this Saturday, 8 o'clock. I did end up looking some history up, and we have been at that location since 1998. And we only missed the 1 year because of COVID.
Wow.
The Garden Club has been around for 52 years. And has been holding plant sales for 50. So
that is
exciting.
amazing. It's such an asset here in the community. You have amazing plants and a lot of other related materials. So tell us a little bit about exactly what you're going to have on Saturday.
Oh, excited to do that. Well, I'm sure people will be happy to hear that the Wheelbarrow Raffle is back because you get the wheelbarrow and then all sorts of great things in it, tools, one of those garden benches, and a gift certificate to Angelo, the florist. So it's a beautiful arrangement, and so there's that. But we're also going to have perennials. Each garden club member commits to bringing at least 10 plants, and then we reached out to 15 different nurseries in the area asking for plant donations, and we've been very lucky with generous donations. We also bought some plants from a wholesaler. We have a great selection of herbs, and one of our members took little herbs and put them together into kitchen gardens, and they've had a month to grow, so
how
they're going to be
fun.
great. There'll be some vegetables, some house plants. And a new feature this year is that we're going to be selling compost bins on behalf of the city. They're going to deliver 7 or so, and so if we sell out, we'll have forms for people to buy them. But, we're trying to promote the entire experience, not just flowers, but flowers, composting, plant education.
That's amazing, and I've actually been looking for a compost bin, so
Okay.
I might be looking into that.
They're pretty reasonably priced, the city, because they're from the city. And I compared them to Amazon, so it's a good price.
Definitely. Now, is there anything new this year? Anything special you want to tell people about?
We're going, in addition to, of course, to all the plants and the compost bins, there will be dried French lavender sachets and floral note paper.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And I heard you have some special aprons as well.
Oh, that's very true. You'll be able to tell who the Garden Club members are because they'll be wearing either option A, which is Haverhill Garden Club with 3 tools, or option, the other one, Haverhill Garden Club with flowers. Both of these designs were created by Leisure Line down in Bradford, and they were so great as far as working with us to come up with, really fun designs. And, this year our Garden Club members weren't, able to have the live programs that we love so much, the lectures and all that. We had Zoom, which got old.
Yeah.
So
it's not the same.
we made the decision to get an apron for every member.
I think it's really nice.
For everyone to wear them at the sale.
After a tough year, it's a little treat.
It's nice
That's
to have
really
a
nice.
treat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know the Garden Club also offers, beyond the plant sale, a lot of other great programs that are open to the public that folks might want to take advantage of.
Well, it's true. We have a wonderful partnership with the Haverhill Library, and so through the library, we've been able to offer and basically co-host programs. We just had one on daylilies that has me all set to go to Hudson, New Hampshire to visit this daylily farm that features 4,000 varieties of daylilies.
Oh, wow.
And amazing, the guy showed us his photos. We also, of course, do planting in public spaces, and we give a scholarship at Haverhill High. And, we're definitely interested in figuring out ways to get more gardeners active and spread education about gardening. And we'll be having the decoration project at Christmas time again. And on this history, they did it the very first year, 1967, the HGC organized downtown Christmas decorations. So we picked up a tradition from 52 years ago, so that's great.
I think it's amazing all the things you guys do, and you're low profile, so some people don't realize how often you're out there beautifying the city in all different ways.
It's true, and of course Brightside has gotten people to adopt a bunch of areas. Haverhill's huge. I don't think one club could do it all.
Exactly, could handle it all.
So we have the benefit of having a lot of different people that care about making Haverhill pretty.
Exciting news. So we'll see you on Saturday, May 22nd,
That's
Bradford
right.
Common, 8 o'clock till you sell out, I
Till
think, right?
sell out. And
All right.
typically that's, we've been able to close up around 11:30.
Oh, wow, so get there early.
Yeah, I know, although there are COVID restrictions, so.
Thanks
Can't
so
have-
much, Kathy. It was good to have you on the show.
Thanks, take care.
It's no secret that small businesses have been majorly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and its attendant shutdowns. The art and music school sector faced unique difficulties due to the stoppage of in-person instruction. Be Imagine Music Studio and Shoetown Art Center, who share a teaching space at the Casey Paper Building in downtown Haverhill, made major changes to their business model to continue serving students, as HC Media's Will Tapley learned when he visited their studios.
My name is Benjamin Goldbaum. I'm the owner here at Be Imagine Music Studio. Used to be Haverhill Music Center, so we've been downtown since 1955. And once COVID hit, we realized that, of course, we couldn't teach in person for a while, so all of our teachers then went online to teach our lessons remotely. Maybe about 25% of my students do attend in person, and then I just jump on the computer to teach the rest online. We try to separate the room 6 to 10 feet apart. I now have different music stands for each student, so we're not like sitting side by side like we used to for the time being. It's been up and down for business in terms of myself. I found a way to teach more lessons than I ever have in this last year. I've been extremely busy. But I still am looking for more students for all of my instructors. Some students are not as interested in keeping their online lessons, so that's been a little bit of a struggle. But we've also found some good things, some positive things out of what we're dealing with. Sometimes now that I'm sitting a little different and looking at my student from across the room, I can see the way they're holding the guitar a little better and make sure that their form is working well. We've also got into recording some music remotely, and so it's taught the students a little bit about filming themselves and about recording audio. So we've made the most of it to learn some new things during this time. We're really looking forward to being able to have all of our teachers return to the studio and all the students, because I know they all miss seeing each other in person. So we're hoping that we'll get to that place very soon. We're also looking forward to getting back to the events that we do, like Kids Fest and the Christmas Stroll, the Topsfield Fair, of course. We missed those this last year. So we know we'll get back to that place that we'll be able to get to those things again and share them with our students.
So I'm Emily Bolger, Dr. Emily Bolger, and I run the Art Center, Shoetown Art Center in Haverhill, and we just got to year 10, and we made it through COVID, and that's pretty cool. So we teach pottery here, we teach painting, fiber arts, cartooning, any type of fine arts we teach here. I have a faculty of about 10 people with all diverse different backgrounds and art experiences. So when COVID first hit, we had to shut down immediately, and it was just kind of like a ghost town. So one of the things I was able to do was pay my staff to give online lessons, and the online lessons were free to any kid that was our current student before COVID. Not only was it hard not being here, but it was really hard for us not to have those relationships with our students and the students to have relationships with each other. I am a trained behavior specialist, autism specialist, so since COVID's happened, we were actually able to start some day programs here. I have several individuals that were in day programs that were adults with disabilities that were in day programs that shut down and never opened up again. So instead of just sitting at home doing nothing, we were able to kind of work with the state to be able to provide a place for them to go here. I think the biggest important thing through everything was just learning to be flexible. Like COVID totally redefined the definition of flexibility. We were eventually able to open up. We were considered like the second phase of reopening for the Massachusetts reopening plan, but there were a lot of conditions and guidelines, and even though we were technically allowed to open, a lot of parents and families weren't necessarily comfortable with having their kids come in. I really felt like I had to accept people's viewpoints, people's decisions, you know, like I'm not a parent, but a lot of parents just want to do what's best for their kids, and you know, whatever decision they decide to make, you just have to like appreciate that, you know. You can't judge or complain about the choices that people are making on behalf of their kids and families. And so I think that's really important.
It's really heartening to see how Emily and Ben have adapted to keep their students learning. And that's our show for Monday, May 17th. Thanks so much for joining us. Watch the Haverhill Journal live again at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m. every weekday night on Channel 22. And as always, keep watching HC Media for up-to-date information, series programs, public service announcements, and more. I'm Lindsay Paris. Good night.